So here we are, episode 1, finally here.
Episode 1 of The Redress.
Amazing.
Yes. Fashion podcast. Really wanted to cut out the noise, and I think the idea come about when we hosted an event together.
Yes.
So Ebony was creative director at Free People, and I'm a content creator. So
we worked together in an in-store event, and we just kind of hit it off immediately, like a first date. It was, pretty much got on really well, prepped for the night.
I'm like the most anxious person doing any sort of live hosting event. So when Free People said that Ebony was co-hosting it, it just instantly made me feel relaxed and and it just went really well, didn't it? And the
Really
feedback we got after was, oh my God, it was just like listening to a podcast. So we was like, aha, okay, maybe there's something in that. So
yes. And then
plotting and planning for quite a few months.
And then 8 months later?
8 months later, we are here.
Finally here. It feels good. And yeah, I'm just excited to kind of start this new journey together.
Yeah, we've both worked in the fashion industry for a really long time, but had totally different journeys into it. So we just thought we'd combine that and have just a weekly chat with my friend about fashion.
Nice.
So so should we give a bit of background on our, obviously like we said, we've both got a lot of experience in fashion.
Yes.
So I'd love to hear more about what are your career highlights, would you say?
Okay, so I started out at retail when I was 15. So one of my main kind of first moments was when you had to do, was it 2 weeks work experience at school?
Yes, yeah.
I did 1 week with ITV because I used to do TV programmes. So I would work with
That is a good work experience. I don't think they was being offered at my school.
Yeah, so I was behind the scenes doing the admin and helping people get auditions, which was really fun. And then I did a week at French Connection. So that was my first ever retail job.
In store,
in my hometown, Nottingham. And I loved it. I was on the tills, in the fitting rooms, just being a busybody, getting everywhere. Loved putting the product out, doing visual merchandising, but also loved being in the fitting rooms, putting outfits together, serving the customers. And that was my first kind of like touch of retail. And, we used to get an amazing clothing allowance. So I'd get excited about getting my uniform and
choosing
what
the
I would
outfit.
wear. Oh, it was amazing. And I was like the bee's knees, I dressed up every Saturday. And I felt really proud of that job. Another highlight of mine was when I first moved to London. So I went to London and worked for Paul Smith. I'd worked for Paul Smith throughout my university career in the store at Willoughby House, which was
So you moved straight to London after uni?
Yes. So I used to work at the flagship store in Nottingham whilst uni, and then I moved to London and did visual merchandising. So I'd get up at 6 a.m, crack of dawn, or department stores at 6 a.m, no one was there, and just kind of be perusing the shelves and getting things out, merchandising product. It was amazing for me because I worked with menswear as well. I think that's where I started to get that kind of menswear style.
Yeah.
Loved it. I mean, Paul Smith is renowned for amazing tailoring. Also, again, we got an amazing clothing allowance, and I would almost pick out all of the show looks. I used to ring the Paris store and be like, can I have look 3? I mean, get like thousands of pounds of clothes.
Super passionate about your job.
For your allowance. And so I loved that job. Being in London was hard, traipsing the streets at 6 a.m. and working lots of different stores and different department stores. But again, it was amazing. I mean, it was a great experience.
Good opportunity.
And then I guess my kind of most current moment is at Free People. And I was in between New York and Philadelphia. I moved there to be a stylist for Free People. So I was styling all of the shoots. Amazing experience. It was completely just like brand new. And then very quickly on, I got promoted to be art director. So I was art directing and directing shoots, working with the photography, post-production. It was incredible being on location, being on in the studio, working with models that I'd followed and, loved their street style. So it was amazing again to work with them and put outfits together and almost collaborate on set. And then I moved back to the UK. So I moved back to the UK, back to Nottingham, my hometown, and was working in the London head office. So that's where we have 2 incredible showrooms, and was working with department stores. So they would come in every month, look at our collection. We'd collaborate again on their edits, bring new business to Europe. So looking at different opportunities around the business, and just working with different department stores, different boutiques, and generating those relationships on a monthly basis. So I've just left. I think I've been out of the job now for, 3 weeks? I took a leap of faith and decided to go out it alone, just to work on other creative projects, represent myself, Ebony Francis, and it's just an exciting new venture. And this is obviously an incredible place to start.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, done so many amazing things.
Thanks. Well, you've got a different journey, but
Yes.
again, an equally dynamic and amazing experience, which I don't think, I mean, I'm sure your viewers and your listeners and followers already know, but when I first met you, I didn't know you had that much experience in the industry.
Right.
So please share some of your three of your moments, your
Three
key
of my
moments.
highlight moments. Okay, so one of the moment that stands out in my career would be when I very first got into working in fashion. I was just like, oh, I want to be a stylist, and really just had no idea sort of how, but
Yes.
just sort of tried to contact anyone that I knew that could give me any sort of experience. And someone I met was a producer, and she just completely had so much confidence in me, and I really don't know why, and was like, oh my goodness, I'm shooting a Rimmel London commercial, come and do some styling for me. And I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, absolutely. Completely winged it. I was so nervous, and I ended up styling a bus conductor. So
Amazing.
yeah, so I did like the extras and I did the bus conductor, and I just learned so much. I think being thrown in the deep end, and I don't know if it was where I was younger, and the thought of it now, I'm like, how do I actually turn up and do that and not really know? Because there's so much to think about when you're styling on set as well. There's there's a bit of an etiquette on,
Yes.
when can you jump in and change things around, and you've got to have a bit of a confidence about you. So, but yeah, that was definitely a key moment, and I ended up doing quite a lot of commercials, doing styling that way, which was. I had a young family at the time, so it was hard. I sort of dipped in and out, but loved it. And yeah, it's all sort of led to like what I do now. Then a second highlight I say would be I also worked as a fashion buyer, which I absolutely loved. It really was the dream job, just like shopping for a living. And it's like, you've got these budgets, and at the time we was buying Isabel Marant, and it was when she was just sort of really got big, and it was just a real sort of moment. We travelled like New York, Paris, Milan, and then a real highlight would be being in the Isabel Marant showroom, and you'd have seen like the show would have been a few days before, so you would have seen the incredible catwalk show and how it was all styled,
and the energy,
how it was all styled and put together was so inspiring. And then all of the Isabel Marant like team members, they would all be wearing the collection and walking around, and you would be like, oh, I want that outfit, and I want that outfit. But it really did. There was so many sort of. We'd be like, okay, we're going to buy that and team it with this. And that was incredible. I absolutely adored that job. And then, it sort of evolved. And another highlight, my last highlight would be, so from what I do now, so I'm a content creator. So I've taken all of my experience, and I see myself now as an online stylist. So I get to work with some incredible brands, and if I'd been told that I'd be working with these brands sort of when I first started, like going, oh yeah, I want to be a stylist, I just wouldn't have believed you. But I think that's the beauty of the sort of content creating, like the blogs and the Instagram. You can really sort of build your own business, which I guess for you is like exciting time. That's how you probably feel now as well. There's so many ways you can take it. So I work with brands like Net-a-Porter and Matches, and I think the highlight for me would be when I worked with Topshop. I think Topshop was such an iconic store, and from when I was younger as a teenager, my mum used to let me like bunk off on my birthday and take our birthday money, and we would head straight to like the flagship store in Oxford Circus. And I could just remember the feeling like going down the escalator and that excitement of having that whole shop and having a bit of money in my pocket to buy an outfit. So working with the team there, and I hosted events there. They had like a campaign called like Topshop Girls, and I got to be one of them, and it was a real pinch me moment. So yeah, really lucky. I've got to do some amazing things, and I love that it's all led to what I do now, where I work for myself, I sort of work on my own terms. And I think this is why the podcast is just so amazing. I get to work with you, and there's, I suppose, only so much you can show on your socials as well, where it is my work. So actually talking and chatting in a much more relaxed way about fashion, I think it's going to be a good conversation.
So each week we'll be sharing what we're wearing and why. The why is often the most important, I think. It's the kind of the reason, is it comfortability? Is it a formal attire? I think it's always important to understand like why you're wearing such an outfit. But again, it's exciting to know what you're wearing and what the pieces are. So today I'm wearing a totem dress. I've probably had it for a couple of years. I've definitely got my wear out of it for sure.
It's stunning.
Thank you. I'm wearing it because I wanted to show up as my best self, episode 1, of course, but it is super comfortable. It's a little bit, you know, airy, relaxed, but it has got the details that I love. A big shoulder, a big sleeve, a little bit off the shoulder, but it is really comfortable. And I do feel kind of put together as well. Yep. And then I'm wearing the Row cage sandals.
Love them.
And the reason why I'm wearing them is just to offset the femininity of the dress. These are kind of my investment piece. I can't wait to wear them as it gets warmer, but I love that kind of chunkier dad, kind of more masculine feel to a shoe to kind of pair with a bit
offset
more of a
dress.
prettier dress.
Looks amazing.
Thank you. What are you wearing?
So my outfit today is, I've gone for a Kate blouse. So just quite feminine, like the silky feel of it, but then I've teamed it with my denim jeans. So jeans are my thing. I'm obsessed with jeans.
You are the denim expert.
And yeah, I just feel like me when I'm wearing them. So whenever I wear anything that's a little bit elevated, I always try and like play it down with my denim, and then my new Kate shoes, which I'm obsessed with. So I've got the sparkly heel, so just thought I'd add a little bit of something, and then Mary Jane, so it's a bit of a nod to the trend this season as well.
Yeah, I forgot to mention I am wearing something that I'll discuss a little bit later, but I'm wearing the Almond Grey Power Ego beads.
The Alter Ego Power beads.
From Emma's collection. But we'll discuss it a little bit later, but I had to mention it because I feel again like this is a bit new for me, wearing black jewelry, but I love them.
Looks so good.
Thanks.
So for this week's fashion journal, we thought a really good place to start was sort of dig deep into how to elevate your style, how to find your style. So maybe we could start with describing each other's style.
Okay. Easy. So for me, you are polished. You're always polished. Whether you're going to an event, running around London, you always are well put together, for sure. You are really good at outfit building. So you put unexpected pieces together. I'm always like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. But somehow you kind of magically put these amazing pieces together and again, look really, really put together. And I have to say you are the denim expert. You have every wash of denim, every style of denim. I can't find a denim that fits me at all. But you seem to have you just know you're such a good denim expert. I need to basically raid your wardrobe and figure out what would suit me. But you have just a really amazing edit of denim, which I think is just amazing. I don't know how you found all these amazing pieces, but you need to
collecting for a long time, many years. Thank you. It always makes me laugh when you say that I'm polished, because I definitely don't feel polished. No, I don't at all. It's But yeah, thank you. It's quite nice to be described as polished, especially when you don't feel like it.
How would you describe your own style?
So my style, I would say I try. This isn't what I'm saying that I achieve, but this is what I try and do is like relaxed, a bit of a effortless sort of look, but definitely a bit refined. So if I am wearing a sort of a relaxed jean, I might team it with like I've got on today, like a nicer shoe, a Chanel shoe. If I'm wearing a grey tracksuit, I might take my like top handle leather bag that's a bit more structured. So I think a little bit of a mix. But then I do like to try and give my outfit a little bit of an edge as well. So whether that is in maybe my makeup, if I'm on a night out, like a bit of a smoky eye, or like I've got black nails on today, or with my jewellery. Like I love my chunky Prada boots. Yes. Maybe if I'm wearing a sort of a pretty dress. If I feel too polished, I always try and like bring it down. But I definitely feel like it does make sense when you say that I'm polished, because the women whose style I admire, actually, when I look into that, they have got a bit of a polished vibe. So it is obviously what I'm drawn to, but just never thought that I was
Who are the women that you admire?
So I love like the fashion editors. Sarah Harris is someone that I feel like if ever I'm in a bit of a style rut, I could have a look at some of her images and I'm like,
she's your go-to.
I think she just reminds me to keep it simple. You don't have to have this big outfit sort of every time you're going out. I also love Lisa Aitken. I love seeing what she's wearing to all of the shows. So yeah, but how about you? Shall I describe your style? So yeah, I think you are completely effortless. I feel like you are. I've not seen your wardrobe, but I feel like it would be very edited and everything in there is absolutely you. I think you make very considered purchases, and I think you're very confident in your own style. I feel like, I suppose maybe from all of your years working in the fashion industry and doing the styling, you've probably really got that down to a T, learned so many like tips and tricks, which I can't wait for you to share with us. But yeah, I know obviously you love like oversized pieces. You're very inspired by like menswear. And then, the accessories queen. I love all of your accessories. And you always know how to elevate your outfit with accessories.
Thanks. I feel very flattered. But yeah, you're kind of right for me. That's true. I love accessories. That is my place. I am very much simple formula when I put outfits together. Definitely menswear inspired. I'm definitely more of an androgynous look. I'm always about oversized, love tailoring, but then I will try and offset certain things with the accessories or make things feel a bit more feminine, whether it is details or shoulders or, the finishing touches, like you say, like makeup or earrings and jewelry. So that is right. And you're right too. I think when it comes to inspiration, someone I love is Tylin Lewin on Instagram, and as it looks incredible. She's super, super polished and really elegant as well. Really elegant,
so elegant.
But she makes really cool kind of menswear inspired looks, and she's very true to herself. But I think you're right. I think years of experience figuring out what makes sense. I have to be comfortable. That is my first rule, be comfortable. That's not just in footwear, that is in clothes. If I don't feel right, I can't really leave the house because I just feel like
anything's too fussy or complicated.
I'm not myself. So it has to be comfortable. I think, years of trodding the kind of pavements and commuting and being in different stores in those kind of early mornings, I like a flat shoe. I definitely also like a flat shoe when I go out as well, because I feel elegant that way. And
it's just dressing to your lifestyle, isn't it? Which I think is really important. I think it's all very well to look at people to emulate their style, but if they've got a completely different lifestyle to you or live in a different climate, you've got to know like what inspiration to take.
Yes.
And not.
Yeah, there's bits that you have to take from people, but I think you have to make sure it makes sense for yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's also how you get your own signature, your own uniform, your own formula. And I think that's when people look like themselves because they look confident in their own skin.
Yeah, having those people that you admire their style. I think that is really important to have someone to look at. And mood boarding is a big thing for me.
You're so good at mood boarding.
Which I've been doing it for years, actually, even pre-Pinterest. I've got a little folder that I thought.
Have you? What, of just simple images put into a folder?
Cutting images out of magazines.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's so old. It was before, I discovered Pinterest, or definitely before Instagram. And it was, you just like see the celebrities and what they're wearing, and I would cut it out. And I just think it has always inspired me. I think there are a few little tips and tricks to think of when mood boarding. A lot of, obviously, Pinterest is the most obvious place to do it, but don't just look at images in Pinterest, because a lot of people say to me, I can't find them sort of pictures that I'm looking for. If I do look on Pinterest, I will always add street style, because I think that filters out quite a lot. But I also I will save from my Instagram to Pinterest. I also go on to designers' websites, look how they're styling their pieces, because I think you can, obviously they're working with the top stylists, so you can get some really good tips. Catwalk images as well. I know we've just recently had all the catwalk shows. I think there's so much inspiration that you could take, and it just really helps just refine what you like about an outfit.
I think for me, one of my kind of tips is to find somebody that you admire or love. I've got a couple of personal ones. So my grandparents, they've both passed away. This is not a sad podcast, but I've definitely raided my late granddad and grandma's wardrobes. You've seen me wear my granddad's blazers, and I didn't
It's really lovely.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like I've got some kind of gems.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate their style when they were around, but I look back now and think, wow, there are some gems in that wardrobe. So that the wardrobe is empty.
They really influenced you.
Yes, they were both always polished. My grandma was always in a blazer, hat, a bag. She had an amazing silk scarf on, so I think I've taken that from her. And my granddad was always in tailoring and just suited and booted and just made such an effort. So I think for me, having those inspirations, I just know where to look and to find, and I know what I want to feel like, and I want to feel like them. They have that real power and energy when they left for work or wherever they were going. So for me, it's always important to have those people in mind. So it might not be a famous person or someone on Instagram. It might be someone closer to home, which is also really inspiring.
Yeah, definitely. And then when you wake up in the morning and you're going, you've got meetings, how do you sort of think of, how do you put your outfit together? I think that's quite a sort of interesting to get into other people's minds, because I suppose we get into such a routine and a habit of doing it. So what's your process? I'm
definitely a planner, so I always know where I'm going, obviously, the next day. So I'm definitely thinking about where it is, how I'm getting there. Am I on a train? Am I in the car? So I definitely need to be comfortable first, for sure. And I think it's always about starting with that item.
Yeah.
So if I'm starting with the dress, then it's just easy because then it's just accessories, the bag, the shoes. Again, I love an accessory. I have a lot of amazing investment pieces, which I've been lucky to purchase over the years. So for me, it's always about that one piece. I always end up thinking, like, I want to wear that one jacket, so then I kind of build from there. I'm not somebody who can just open the wardrobe and then magically put an outfit together. I think that's more your suit. But for me, it's that one piece. That's why I also do love suiting, because it's just easy.
Yes.
It's a suit, it's 2 pieces, and then I'm wearing a cool t-shirt underneath it, a belt, accessorizing. So for me, it's about making it simple for myself.
Yes.
But it is about how you want to show up as well. I think that's also the key. Is like, if I'm going to a meeting, I might want to be professional, but with a little bit of my own flair, a bit of personality. If I'm doing nothing chill, then I'm in a tracksuit, chunky trainers, blazer. That's simple. So it's always about how I want to feel, how I want to show up to the world, and how easy and comfortable I can make it.
Yes. Make it feel like you. yeah, that's it.
See, I've been looking up to see your wardrobe. You haven't seen mine. And you've got quite a bit more of a bigger wardrobe than mine. I think, how do you do it? Because I think if you see your wardrobe, I think it could be quite overwhelming, but I know you can get in there, get an outfit out and go. So what is your kind of formula?
Definitely got too much stuff. I would still like to edit it down a little bit more. But my process would be very similar to you. I would have a certain item in mind. So like yesterday I had a few events, had a meeting to go to, and I had some high-waisted gold sign jeans with a slightly wide leg, and I was like, okay, I want to wear that, and then I will build the outfit around it. And I've been thinking a lot lately actually about the 3-word system. So it's not something that I know there's a lot of talk around it at the moment, but it's not something I'd really paid much attention to, because I was a bit more like, oh no, I'm quite instinctive with what I'm wearing. I sort of know what works and what doesn't, but I've been looking into it a little bit more lately. And I think when you've got like 3 words, so like I said at the beginning of like describing my style of how I would like to look, of the like effortless, like refined, polished, and with a bit of an edge. That's been really helping me build outfits lately. So yesterday I had on like similar blouse to this, bit of a prettier blouse. So that was my like polished.
Yes.
Then my jeans I felt were giving me my bit of my like effortless, bit of denim. And then to give it a little bit of an edge, there wasn't much edge to my outfit yesterday, but again I had like the black nails, and I sort of had my black beads on yesterday. So I felt like so it's almost, you think of those 3 things and it really helps you sort of stay on track, and it really helps when you're shopping as well. And there's also like a sliding scale of it. So it's almost like that was yesterday because I was going to a meeting. So maybe I wanted to be a bit more polished, but on another day, I want to be a bit more effortless. So you can sort of play around with it. So I quite like that system. It's a bit of a new thing that I'm doing, but I do think if ever you're in a little bit of a style rut, think of them
3 words,
and look at your outfit. If it's feeling a little bit off, I think proportions are massive for both of us. And it can just be those little tweaks that just really make an outfit, like take it from being a bit basic to actually elevating it. So whether that's rolling the sleeves or tucking the shirt in, it's the details. Yeah, it's almost, if I've got like a slimmer jean on and a tighter blazer, it's like, it's not going to work because that's not how I like to show up. I want to be comfortable, relaxed. So yeah, I can wear the slimmer pant, but I put on an oversized jacket. So it's just playing around with the proportions. I think is really important.
I think you said it about me, about oversized. I think for me, it's about making it feel me. So I might buy something 2 sizes bigger, or I'll shop the men's department actually. I'll go straight into menswear, find something that feels more me. I think that's a great way as well. I think you can find some amazing pieces in Pre-Loved, shopping Pre-Loved or pre-owned sites. I think you can find some amazing...
You are the queen of Pre-Loved.
I love Pre-Loved.
I'll take you denim shopping.
Perfect.
You
We've got a good spot. Yes. I think you can find some amazing gems that are really unique and no one maybe have them. And I think, again, you can make that feel more you. So I think buying a blazer that's a little bit too big for me, it makes me feel powerful. If I had something a bit more fitted and tailored, I would probably not feel myself. So I think it's also about what are those nuances and how can you find it? Maybe it is shopping a different department, and just making sure it just feels you at all times.
This is it. It's not about it being right or wrong. It's what's right for you. Like, what do you feel right in? If that's your look, then that's what you have to try to look out for. But I think your point on Pre-Loved and having things that no one else has got, I think now more than ever is actually really important, where, like we say, there's so much noise and sometimes you can often see the same thing again and again. So really, if you tap into that Pre-Loved, it can really help define your personal style.
And just find things that you just are not out there, and you
Yeah.
can you have
And it
that
does
one
feel
piece.
really special.
It does feel special. You know
I've
when you
not
get
definitely
that.
not got as much
Well,
pre-loved
went
as you, but I've got a few bits.
You got a nice shirt that was an old Celine shirt, and that must felt so good to have that in your wardrobe.
Yeah, it really does. It does. It does feel even more special. So yeah, definitely. What would be your tips for pre-love shopping? Where would you head to?
Ooh, Relux. So I know stylist and founder Claire Richardson, and she has an amazing edit of pre-loved items.
Such a good eye.
So good. She has some amazing people that are, selling to her, so they've obviously brought some amazing pieces. I don't know how she finds everything else, but it looks incredible. Actually, I've sold something to her before. I sold a Burberry Mac there that was just, again, I bought it a few years ago when it was a little bit more oversized, and it's not oversized anymore. So I sold it to her. It was a beautiful khaki trench, and it sold, and it was amazing to be able to sell that piece and to give it a new home. But she has some really amazing pieces. So Relux is amazing, and also rented as well. I think there's some really great pieces that you can find rented.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Selfridges, you can find things that are,
especially if you're going to a wedding and you want something that you're not going to wear that often, actually renting it is a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then how often do you edit your wardrobe? Because I do think, like, what your point on me, like, how do I choose an outfit? Because I have got a lot of stuff, and it does really help when I have had a good clear out of the weekend, and it does give you fresh eyes, and it does really help to take that time to go into your wardrobe and look at what you've got.
Yeah. I'm definitely a lover of shopping your wardrobe first.
Yeah.
So always go into your wardrobe first. I check mine seasonally. So, I'll kind of put things under the bed or put things in nice boxes and things. Shall I do that? Yeah, just do that. What was I saying?
Put things in boxes.
Yeah, so I am someone who will shop your wardrobe first. So definitely go into your wardrobe and see what gems you've got. I will fold things down, put things under the bed, in the attic, and then seasonally kind of refresh and see what I'm thinking. Things might not fit anymore. I might not feel that same vibe anymore. Yeah. You may fall out of love. I've definitely got tons of friends that can, benefit from having those pieces. So I definitely keep an edited wardrobe, and that's why it makes it easier for me to find the pieces that I love. My accessories definitely are not as edited. I love a shoe, a bag, jewelry. I'm like a magpie. I just keep buying jewelry all the time. But it's those pieces that just finish off your look. 100%. So I definitely do it quite often. Yeah. Donating to charity, giving to friends, and just reworking things, making sure things feel good, yes. Maybe having to change the buttons or get things tailored.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because there's probably so much stuff in people's wardrobes that they don't wear because they don't fit quite right. Yes. Whereas actually, if you just take the time to get them sorted, and I think it could be a really good addition.
Thinking about elevating your style and you want to know where to go first, I think sometimes it's just nicer to stop the noise and just see what you've got and reassess. I think it's always important to make the right judgment when you know what you've got.
100%. I always say to people, if they're in a bit of a style rut and they feel like they've lost their way, don't buy.
Yep.
Not the time to go shopping and add to the noise in your wardrobe. Yes. Look at what you've got. What I sometimes do when I'm editing my wardrobe is I'll have a route and I'll pop things on it that I'm not quite sure. And then when I've got time, maybe when I've done my hair and makeup, I'll try them on and then see. And if they're not right, then I will donate. SmartWorks charity is actually a really amazing place, an incredible charity that helps women get back in the workplace. So if you have got those pieces, it might just inspire you a little bit more to go in your wardrobe, and they're going to an amazing home. Yeah. So that would be my tip.
Nice. So it's all about find those inspiration, shopping your wardrobe first.
So then after you've shopped your wardrobe,
yes,
that you do need a few little key bits. How then do you have you got specific things in mind when you go shopping? Do you sort of browse the stores and then anything that catches your eye?
I'm always making a wish list and kind of analysing whether I really need that item or am I getting influenced too much to buy. Course, you can get carried away with the trends and what everyone is wearing. So it's definitely important not to kind of go out and make that
rash decision.
Exactly. So I would definitely make an edited wish list, go back and check it. Is there something that I can make work that I've already got? Does my mum have something? I mean, I definitely have the coolest. She's almost 60, but the coolest mum out there. So I definitely will read her wardrobe and see what she's got first. And very often she's got pieces that I need, and we would definitely swap. So that's a benefit of mine.
I've got a daughter that does that to me now.
So definitely checking what I've got in the house or in someone else's house first, and just seeing how much I'm going to wear out of it. I know, is it a basic that I want an elevated piece? Yeah. Is it a really investment piece that I might need to wait and hold off and save for. So it's definitely good to get it down on paper and working out what that, where that fits in my wardrobe. And if I've thought about it a lot, and if it's something that I really just feel that energy from, and I know I can make it work, and I can make an outfit in my mind, or I've seen somebody that's wearing it and I'm like, yes, I could do that, then I'll probably make the decision then.
Yeah, like the rose sandals, it's going to work so well in your wardrobe and elevate your
And actually,
looks.
funny enough, I bought these sandals, returned them because I was like, I don't know if I can spend that much money on them, and then instantly regretted it.
Right.
And then bought them back again. So I knew then that was it. And sometimes the pieces may live in your wardrobe a little bit longer, and then when you bring them out, you're like, yes,
you don't stop wearing them.
Why I had to keep that piece. So it's about a feeling as well, that energy, I think.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
So I suppose for my job as a content creator, I'm always putting together edits. So I am constantly on New In. I'm constantly looking at content and inspiration. So I do have to really feel like you're going to be a really good influence on me for this. Could be a bit bad and good. So I do feel, but I try and have this like 70-30 approach. So I felt like there was one time of quite a few years ago where I just felt like I had a lot of print, a lot of colour. There was a lot going in on my wardrobe, and I was finding it harder to create outfits. So I've sort of pulled back. I now try and keep my 70% my go-to pieces. So this will be my denim, my t-shirts, my shirts, the real easy to style pieces. And then 30% the more, I guess, like the fun pieces, I call them like my must-haves. It's like when you see something and it makes your heart sing and you're like, I must have that. So that sort of keeps me in check a little bit more. So I'm not constantly buying things that I love.
Yep.
It's a bit more considered. I'm trying to have a little bit of a system going on. And I think going back to like the 3 words that I've sort of given myself now, I think that's going to really help when, instead of like you say, being influenced by something just because somebody else looks good on it, or it might be like a cult item and you're like, oh, I need it. It's like, do I need it?
Yep.
Is it going to help elevate my wardrobe, or is it just a cult piece that I want because I've seen someone whose style I adore wearing it and looking amazing, which that can happen to me quite a lot. Yeah.
Well, I think on my 30, my kind of 70, my 30 would be my accessories. I think that's where I have more fun. I might play with colour. I'm not that much into colour, but I'll play a little bit there.
Ebony bought a green. We went to the Ray pop-up at Matches, and she bought a green suit that she thinks she's added a lot of colour into her wardrobe.
If you were to describe it, it would be what? A khaki, sagey colour.
Green.
That is a lot of colour in my wardrobe. That is a lot of colour. But I think why it feels good is that the suit is oversized, kind of a bit mensy. So the foundation is the 70% is what I know, but the 30 is that little delve into colour, that little shade.
I love it looking at it that way. Yeah. That's it. You're comfortable because of the style and the cut of the suit, and then the colour's a bit out of your comfort zone.
Awesome. So some good tips there from the Fashion Journal. 3 words: shopping free love and shopping your wardrobe, finding inspiration, people that you love, and mood boarding.
Mood board.
Yeah. So that is the Fashion Journal. And next week's Fashion Journal, it will be spring trends.
Yes.
I'm getting excited. I can feel it getting...
I can't wait to hear what's on your shopping list for spring.
We'll get there. So each week we'll be asking you to send us your outfit dilemmas, and we'll be sure to answer them. Make them as detailed as possible. And we're excited to see what you come up with.
Yeah, can't wait to hear this week's.
So let me read it to you. I work in a corporate environment. Although I love clothes and fashion, I have to keep my work uniform classic to conform with the traditional office dress codes. Any advice on how I introduce some fun and personality into my daily outfits that won't scare my male colleagues or overshadow my authority? And that is from Henrietta in Nottingham. I actually made some notes for this one because I thought it was a really good question, and I had to have a little bit think about it. So it doesn't have to mean like bright primary colours. I think you can be thinking about textures and details that catch the light or offer like a bit of a textual dimension. I think when in doubt, add accessories. So I would wear a simple suit, but maybe add a belt with a really nice buckle, shoes maybe in a different colour, and maybe play with a neck scarf or jewellery. Totem do some amazing neck scarves, and you can kind of tuck them into your shirt or even wear them just with the simple suit. I think that can add a little bit of flair as well. For me, I love a tonal suit, head to toe the same colour. So I would love to have different shades of the same colour, but maybe kind of play with different textures to add personality. I would say think 90s Jill Sander, Helmut Lang, Bianca Jagger, maybe a bit more of a wide leg. Also I don't know whether you can in a corporate environment, but maybe you could wear more of an oversized jacket. Maybe could you even wear a men's suit? Shopping in the men's department can be amazing, and maybe invest in something getting tailored to make it fit really you. And I would say think shape and silhouette. So double-breasted, exaggerated shoulders. I think that's where you can make personality without it being color.
Yes.
Obviously, coming from me, it wouldn't be adding color. So I would be saying play more with silhouette and textures,
to make
and having that personality
personal.
and flair there.
Yeah. A brand that comes to mind for me would be Sefin. So they design clothes for like the busy woman. So like perfect for women that work in that corporate environment that might be going, work to dinners. And they've got a skirt this season that I saw that I thought, when you mentioned like textures, so it's a A-line leather skirt.
Ooh.
So I thought maybe that sort of shape could work really well, but keep the, maybe like with a shirt at the top.
Nice.
So it's quite a nice sort of a bit more of a different look, and you could wear that in so many different ways. So you could invest in that piece and then bring in other like your basics from like Uniqlo and places like that to team with it. Also maybe like check out brands like Blaze Milano, and not necessarily to like wear that full outfit. They are really investment blazers. They're incredible. But just for some styling ideas, like when I looked at their website recently, they had, and again, what you're saying with tonal, they had a suit in this print, and they had the shirt in the same print as well. And it just looked, or they had like little styling tricks of like how they'd like done the shirt collar over the blazer and things like that. So it just might just give you a little bit more inspiration on how to make that office corporate style work more for your fashion personality, where you want to inject a little bit more fun.
Cool. And I would also just quickly say, don't worry about scaring your male colleagues. Just own it, own the room, have your power in your outfit, and just enjoy fashion. Please send in more of your questions. We'll be excited to answer more. And
DM us.
Yes.
At Ebony Louise Francis, at Emma Rose Style.
Or find us at the Redress Podcast.
So to round up the first episode, we're going to be sharing what's on our wish list. So add to wish list. Ebony, what's on yours?
So my first item to add to wish list is the meditation app called Superhuman. It is a really amazing app that you can do while you're cleaning, while you're walking. I think there's even ones while you're sleeping. I think it's a really great app if you're not feeling like you've got time to sit there and be zen, but you want to still kind of be active and doing things. I've actually done some writing meditations, and I really feel that they're just really powerful and just kind of set the endorphins going. So a really, really great app.
Oh, I'm going to download that one.
Yes. My second one is the Loewe tank. Now, that is something that I thought about and I've had on my mind, on my wish list for a little while. So we want it. We may have already bought it. But that is something that is an elevated basic, and I will wear over and over again under a blazer, every day, going out, whatever. It's just an easy piece, and adds a little bit of detail with the obvious label in the middle. And my third thing is my most cherished. It is my beads from your collection with Armin Gray. So this is the Emma Thatcher. What is the official title?
So they are the Alter Ego Power Beads.
Power beads. In I've got the matte black. I'm loving to experiment with jewelry, so not always wearing kind of gold necklaces. And I think this is just really chic, amazing.
It looks so chic
obviously
on
great
you.
to support you as well in that. And they're just easy to wear. You have them in matte black, a bit more of a high shine black, and then a clear. I mean, it took me ages to decide which one I wanted. Basically, I want all three, but I've landed on the matte black because I think it's just easy access, but amazing. So love them. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Add them to your wish list.
You wear it very well.
Thank you.
So my three things this week would be, so stripe and stare knickers. I've got Ebony converted. They are literally the most comfortable knickers
I'm wearing them now.
ever. And we've actually been given a code to celebrate the launch of the redress. So if you use code redress20, you will get 20% off. So they've got knickers on there, they've got bodysuits, they've got loungewear, but the fabric, I don't know how they do it.
I have to admit, soft. I opened the box and I put them on and I was like, this is amazing. Are they made from trees?
I think they're made from trees.
They are so soft. I basically want to get rid of all of my undies and just and convert to them. They are incredible.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I would say, add to your wish list. Number 2 would be fluid form Pilates. So I've really got into my Pilates the last year, and I never thought I'd be able to motivate myself to do it at home, but the way that this lady does it, I think her name is Christine King, and she's in Australia, so sometimes you get the backdrop of these the sea, and it's just amazing. And just the way she explains it, just really, like she say about what muscle will be hurting, you're like, yes, that is hurting. I'm doing it right. And she does these different challenges. So at the minute I'm doing the 21-day ab challenge. Might take me longer than 21 days because I have a few little days where I skip. But I like a challenge. I like a bit of an end goal.
Yeah.
So she's got loads of different challenges on there. Just a lot of them like between 15 and I'd say 15 and 30 minutes.
I need to try this out.
Easy to fit in. I like to get up in the morning, get it done. I literally do it in my pajamas. Oh. It's so easy to fit in, and you do feel the benefits, and if I'm consistent, see the benefits. But I just the way it makes me feel, also like the stretching and the moving. So that's number 2. And then I think number 3 would be my, I don't know, am I cheating? Add to wish list, but I'm wearing them. So it's my Kate shoes. So this is my like latest purchase. So I know I sort of mentioned them earlier, but I think maybe like that style shoe, if you're looking to sort of invest in a new style of shoe, the Mary Janes are definitely back in a big way at the moment. And I love Kate. I think it's an incredible brand. And I just think chic. I'm up in my accessories game. So yeah, that would be my third one.
I'm rubbing off on you.
You are.
So episode 1 is done. 8 months later, we finally made it. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks.